This is a mid-2012 15-inch Apple MacBook Pro. Now, unlike the Macs that I usually get off eBay, and this was from eBay, but I'll give you more details on that in a minute. Unlike the deals I usually get off eBay, this one isn't what I'd consider a deal of the century, I guess you could say, as I usually get these machines for under $50. However, I was looking for a new machine, and I really wanted to get a 2012. I was looking for a Retina originally, but I ended up going for a pre-Retina simply because the Retinas were way too expensive for what I was willing to pay. So I got this machine. It was fully complete, but it didn't come with a RAM or a hard drive, and there's more on that in a minute. But I bought this machine as non-working on eBay for around $300. Now, I know that seems quite a bit much for at least what I usually spend, but for what the machine is, I think it is a pretty good deal. But I ended up paying a lot more than that, and I will explain that in just a minute. So basically, in the listing, the machine was pictured and described as not working, and basically what they said it did was, if you turned the machine on or plugged it in, it would turn on with the sleep light on the front, or the sleep indicator LED on the front, and it would basically just sit there and do absolutely nothing. Now, one of the pictures in the listing showed the bottom panel removed, or the bottom pan, I should say, and there was no memory installed. So I was thinking that if I got lucky, which I ended up not, but if I got lucky, the only issue would be that there was no RAM installed. Now, unfortunately, that was not the case, and it had some logic board damage. I opened it up, and after doing a bit of research and looking at some schematics, I found that the power delivery IC, I think it's labeled U7400 on the schematic, and I think it's a Maxim MX 1151 chip or something like that. Can't remember the exact model number, or the part number. I will put that in an annotation in the video if you're interested in seeing it. But basically, that chip had blown. It wasn't too visible, and I thought it might just be a short somewhere on the board near that area. But as I looked closer, I realized that one of the sides of the chip was actually blown and looked black, so that chip was completely screwed. Now, while I would have replaced that chip, unfortunately the chip is so small, and so the contacts are so close together. Now, it's not a BGA mount chip, it is a TSOP mounted chip, but the contacts, or the pins, are very, very close together, and unfortunately I just don't have the right equipment to work with that or remove it or replace it. So I went for another option. So at first I looked on eBay for new logic boards, but unfortunately they were way out of my price range. They were about $600 or $700 just for the base end configuration. Now, luckily for me, this machine is actually one of the highest end MacBook Pros for the time. This model has a 2.6 GHz i7 processor, an nVidia GeForce GT 650M GPU with 1 GB of VRAM, and I believe it originally came with a 750 gig hard drive, and 8 gigs of RAM, but like I said, I didn't get the RAM or hard drive with this machine, so I went ahead and put in my own. Now, what I did instead of buying a new logic board off eBay was I actually opted to take it to Apple to get it repaired there. Now, in hindsight, I'm extremely glad I did this, and I'll show you that. I'll show you why in just a minute. But they only charged me, now I know this will seem a lot, but after I show you what they actually did, you'll understand why this was such a great deal. They charged me $300 to do the repair, to swap the logic board, and that's all they said they were going to do. But that turned out to not be the case. So let's just go ahead and take a quick look at the machine, and you will immediately start to notice something. Now, you will notice that the machine is in absolutely 100% perfect condition. Now, that is because instead of only replacing the logic board, Apple also replaced the screen, the bottom or top case assembly, the keyboard, which is included in that assembly. They replaced the MagSafe connector. I'm going to show you that. You can see it is extremely clean and doesn't have any of that magnetic residue that comes off the charger stuck in it, which will happen over time. It's unavoidable, but as for now, since it's brand new, it is perfectly clean. The bottom and top casing of the machine is 100% perfect, not a scratch, not a dent on it. And they also replaced the battery on the machine. So the battery has exactly 0 cycles on it. So it is a 100% brand new battery, which is really, really awesome. So let me just go ahead and give you an overview of the machine here. So on the front here, we don't really have anything except for the latch and the sleep indicator LED, as well as the infrared sensor next to it. On this side of the machine, I'll go ahead and lift it up. On this side of the machine, we have the optical disk drive and Kensington lock slot. It is a super drive, of course. On the back of the machine here, we just have a hinge with the ventilation and heat sinks behind it. And on this side of the machine, we have all the ports. So we have the MagSafe port there, the Ethernet port there, the FireWire 800 port there, Thunderbolt port there, 2 USB 3.0 ports here, an SD card slot, and an audio in and audio out port there, as well as a battery status indicator. And as you can see, it is pretty much fully charged. So as you probably just noticed as I was showing you that, the bottom case is actually the original one for the machine. For some reason, they replaced everything except for the bottom case. So I'm not really sure why that is. If I had to guess, it's probably because this is the original bottom case in the machine, so it has the serial number printed on it right there. So I'm pretty sure that's why they kept it, and since it wasn't dented or anything, they decided it would be fine in the somewhat scratched condition that it's in now. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the machine, and I'll show you that. So as you can see, the keyboard and top case assembly is absolutely pristine, as well as the trackpad. You can take a look at the screen. You can see the screen is in perfect condition as well. And with this configuration that I got, it actually came stock, or not stock, but came configured with a high resolution 1680 by 1050 glossy display, which is quite interesting. I don't really see that often. If it's the high-res display, it's usually the anti-glare version, but nonetheless, this is indeed a glossy high-res display. So with that, let's just go ahead and power on the machine. So as you can see, it starts right up and starts booting immediately. Now I plan on upgrading this to an SSD at some point. However, right now it has the hard drive I just took out of my mid-2011, or my early 2011 15-inch MacBook Pro. So that is booting up right now. So as you can see, it does boot somewhat quickly, at least for a hard drive. So let me wait till I can go ahead and log in. Alright, so let me go ahead and log in. As you can see, it is taking quite a bit. But yeah, as you can see, it just logged in there, and the screen looks really, really nice. You can see the high resolution, all the size of the menu bar is quite small. So let's just go ahead into About This Mac. So you can see here that this is the 2.6 GHz Core i7 model. I installed 8 gigs of 1333 MHz memory. This machine can actually support 1600 MHz memory, but unfortunately I don't have any of that spare to put in it. You can see It's currently running on the Intel HD Graphics 4000 because of course this is Sandy Bridge, and as my 2011 was running, since it's the same hard drive with the same install, it is currently running 10.8.5 Mountain Lion. If we go into storage here, you can see it's currently running the 500 gig hard disk. Displays, you can see it is the 1680 by 1050 display. It is running on the HD 4000, as I said. And the performance of the Intel HD Graphics 4000 processor is actually better than the performance of the dedicated graphics card in my early 2011 MacBook Pro, which is a AMD Radeon HD 6490M. So you can see if I go into Launchpad, the animations are completely lag-free, and yeah, the computer is just overall a pleasure to use. Let's go ahead and open a Safari window here, and I can show you the minimize animations. See, opening the downloads folder is completely lag-free as well. Now, I don't really have a GPU testing benchmark on here, so I can't really show you any specific benchmarks, but let's go into About This Mac one more time, and I'll go into graphics and displays. You can see here that the HD Graphics 4000 and GeForce GT 650M are both installed. This machine is capable of switching graphics, as all 2010 and newer 15-inch MacBook Pros are. You can see the nVidia GeForce GT 650M has a gig of video memory installed, and the HD Graphics 4000 only allocates 384 megs for some reason. On my 2011 MacBook Pro with 8 gigs of RAM, the HD Graphics 3000 used 512 megs. So I'm not really sure what's up with that, but nonetheless it is only integrated graphics, and I believe it's dynamically changing memory, so I don't think it stays at 384 megs. I think it depends on what you're actually doing on the machine, and it can allocate more video memory to it as necessary. So that is the mid-2012 15-inch MacBook Pro that I got off eBay and got repaired by Apple. So yeah, that's the machine, and I really like it and intend to use it as my main laptop. So that is the overview of a mid-2012 15-inch MacBook Pro. I hope you enjoyed this video.